Text to what you said of putting your opinion forward. Sir, I would like to say that I didn't get you on the point of not being a future-oriented person. So because if we are not oriented in the future, it's like being aimless and not having a goal today. And thinking of a job after 2 years is what is motivating and forcing you to study today.
What's your name?
Sir, Divakar.
Divakar. Sit. Divakar is saying the very prospect that he will get a job after 2 years is, the exact words that he used, is forcing him to study today. And that's the situation with most of us, right? I am here because I am waiting for something else to happen in the future. I am here, and Divakar, this is not what is happening today. You know, this is what has been happening throughout our lives. We have been perpetually waiting for something to happen in the future. We have been perpetually waiting for something to happen in the future. People take admission in BTech not because they love what is going to happen in the first semester, but because they are expecting what would happen in the 8th semester. How many of us have ever waited for a train on a railway platform? The train is just 4 hours late, which is not a very rare thing. We all know it happens. 4 hours late. How does it feel to spend those 4 hours on the railway platform? How many of us feel absolutely joyful in that for those 4 hours? And how many of us would rather have those 4 hours cut short? Every moment that is spent waiting for something, expecting something in the future, is a moment of dullness and boredom. Do you see this? The job will come then. And when am I living? Right now. The job will come then. But when am I living? When am I living? Right now. So what am I doing to this moment when I'm really living? I'm ruining it, I'm destroying it. And if I am living a life perpetually in waiting, what am I doing to my entire life? What am I doing to my entire life? Destroying it. But this is the way we live. You study so that the results will be good. You work so that you may get a salary. You never do anything for its own pleasure. You never do anything because it is worth doing then. You never do anything because doing itself is its own reward. You study for the sake of the job. Are you interested in studying? No, not really. Then is it any wonder that you absent yourself from classes? That you study only when you are afraid that you will flunk? Because fundamentally you are not interested in studying. You are interested in the job, right? Studying is just a means to get that job, correct? You are not interested in studying as such. Could you get the job without studying? You would not have studied, right? If the job is the real thing, then you wouldn't have studied. Could you get that job without studying? So what is studying? Studying is a pain. Just a means to some other end. And whatever is the means cannot be enjoyable. Because it is not the end that you are looking for. Because it is not the end that you are desiring. And all 4 years of BTech are ruined this way. Because I am not into what I am doing. So I do something so that something else happens. I do this for that, this for that, this for that, this for that, for that. Always an expectation. Always an expectation. And that expectation is never fulfilled. Because when you reach that point there, newer expectations expectations arise. When I reached IIT, my rank was not in the top 500 even. I was surprised by the fact that most of those who had their ranks in the All India top 100 were the ones who had never thought about it. They studied for the love of it. But then love is a word entirely absent from our lives. We do not live because life is lovable. We live so that something can be attained somewhere. And the irony is, the real attainers, the real attainment happens to those who are not planning, who are not looking ahead, who are solving a differential equation because solving a differential equation is fun. Wow, I cracked it. Who are not solving it so that they may clear an entrance exam. Do you understand the difference between these two approaches? I solve it so that I can clear an entrance exam. And I solve it because I love to solve it. And those who love to solve it were also the ones who incidentally got the top 100 ranks amongst the lakhs of people who wrote the JEE. Real excellence happens when one works goallessly. You have been wrongly taught. If someone has told you that excellence is a result of goals and their ruthless pursuit, real excellence comes by doing what must be done. Real excellence comes when you are in love with what you are doing. One cannot conduct 10,000 experiments by making a goal. You know whom I am referring to, right? A scientist cannot conduct 10,000 experiments because he has made a goal that I will go till 10,000. And if it is not happening even in the 10,000th time, then I will go till 20,000 or 40,000 or a lakh. It can happen only out of love. But then that's a word entirely absent. We have not known it. And hence our shallow life. HIDP is not there to further your goals. HIDP is not there so that what you have planned for yourself can be materialized. Appreciate this. HIDP is there so that you can understand where all your plannings and thoughts and desires come from. HIDP is not there so that you can run faster on the road you have chosen. HIDP is there so that you can pause for a while and understand why you are running at all and whether it's worth running. So don't come to HIDP sessions with your notions that this is some kind of a personality development class, so it will teach me how to be more fluent in English or how to get a job more easily. It's going to do something far deeper, far more meaningful than that. But only if you allow it to do that. If you are insistent that I will protect the structures that my brain has built so far, then no HIDP can help you. But if you come here, as I said, without interest, without opinions, without prejudices, then you may find that something, a lot is opening up for you, as has been the case with many of your seniors. But then the onus is entirely upon you. See, there is a fundamental difference. All the courses, all the subjects, all the education that you've had so far is always about something external. Right from kindergarten stage to BTech, you have always been studying things that are objects, external. You are not history, you are not geography, you are not physics, you are not chemistry, you are not electrical engineering, you are not this mic, you are not this wall, you are not a computer system, but these are the things that you have been studying so far, right? You are not the languages, but these are the things that you have been studying so far. All these things are outside of you. They are external things. HIDP is the first time that you are studying yourself, and it deserves all the attention for this single reason. But then you have been so deeply conditioned to always keep looking at everything else but not yourself that you might start thinking that this is of relatively lesser importance. By saying that HIDP is of lesser importance, what you are saying is that I am of no importance. If you tell me about that fan, that is of importance because that fan is outside of me. But if you create a session where I learn about myself, then that is not important because I am far less important than even that fan. So if you value yourself, if you love yourself, then this session is far more meaningful than the rest of your education put together. All your education on one side and HIDP on one side, such is its gravity. If at all you love yourself and if you have any concern for your well-being, because it will not teach you about the man on the road, or the road itself, or this building, or the space. It will teach you about yourself. Teaching is a misplaced word here. It will help you discover a few things about yourself.